Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Depending on your time zone, Massive Media comes back to you once again to look at the trending issues and the factors that have been disturbing the people of Igbo nation and Nigeria at large. But these factors, as we are going to look at them, are the things the political elites or the Igbo socio-cultural groups and their governors could have handled them both politically and diplomatically to avert anything that will bring hardship to Igbos. They have suffered a lot and need to have peace and peace of mind to do whatever they want to do their business, do their work, and also have their social life settled to enjoy life as part of the gift of nature. This video is not meant to discredit anybody or to promote anybody, but as a neutral ground to make things work for Mr. A, Mrs. A, Mr. B, Mrs. B, Miss A, Miss B, and Master A, Master B, for everyone to have peace of mind. Before we continue, we thank our subscribers, our new subscribers in advance, those who have not subscribed to subscribe. We thank listeners for the comments. We ask you to subscribe, share our videos, and also give us thumb up. Therefore, thank every one of you for watching, for subscribing, and for sharing our videos, and as well as giving us thumb up. Thank you very much. In today's analysis, we will look at the issue of sit at home, reasons for sit at home, why people complain, what political elites of Igbo land have failed to do, what the socio-cultural group Ohanese has failed to do, and what the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria has failed to do, and what the television houses, the journalists, have failed to do to ensure peace in Igbo land. It is not only complaining against somebody giving authority to sit at home, but what have those that are complaining done to impress the federal government to comply with the rules and orders and the court orders to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is the center point for all the problems. Release him and all these problems will be a thing of the past. So is, what have these people complaining in the television houses, these people complaining and writing reports of what is going on, or why those who are seeking for release of Nnamdi Kanu are doing it? Why are they complaining? All this we will look at and ask for solutions to resolve these problems. Everyone must be involved. No one will blame the other. The other may be doing in his own way, thinking that everything is fine. The other may be complaining that he is doing a great job, but in all, what are the solutions? The solutions are what the people needed and not complaints. You complain, you ask government to do the right thing, you protest, you go out of your job for a day or for hours to force government to do the right thing. Thank you, and as you listen. In the recent times, there have been sit at home in the southeast of Nigeria. What are the reasons? Why do the IPOB members ask people to sit at home? Why do people comply themselves, except the complaint of 7 days continuous sitting at home? Why do people themselves sit at home every Monday? What are the reasons? These are to be exploited to find out why things should change. The way issues are being treated in Nigeria should change. In the issue of sit at home, Mr. Simon Ekpa has been at the center of this very issue. Those who are supposed to have been acting on this are not acting on them. Why they are doing so remains miraculous. But however, what the issue is releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Irrespective of whatever any person may think, the court has given order. The United Nations Human Rights Council on Arbitrary Detention has asked the federal government of Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Human Rights Court in Umahi has ordered his release. The Court of Appeal, Nigerian Court of Appeal, has also ordered for his release. But the man at the helm of affairs, who believed he is more than Nigerian Constitution, who believed that he is more than the Nigerian judiciary, who believed that the parliament or parliamentarians cannot give him advice, has taken it upon himself to say no to judiciary arm of government. Then who can talk to the dictator? No one. Therefore, various measures have been designed by the people whose master has been detained and they refuse to be released. That is the bone of contention from all analysis. Before we continue, we would like to listen to various video clips to know people's opinion and their reactions concerning the 7 days sit at home called by the disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mr. Simon Ekpa.
Stabilize the peace in his native southeast of Nigeria with incessant order by his faction of proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra, a secessionist group forcing the people to sit at home. Ekpa and his men have in the last 1 month unleashed untold terror in form of different coordinated attacks on citizens for daring to disobey the order or the sit-at-home order.
Has continued to bleed heavily from the stranglehold of sit-at-home order by outlawed secessionist group Indigenous Peoples of Biafra, IPOB. The latest threats have come not from the mainstream IPOB, but from a breakaway faction under the guide of Simon Ekpa, an indigene of Ebonyi State who is based in Finland. Last week, Ekpa issued a notice for 1 week of sit-at-home in protest of what he calls the continued detention of the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. In the notice, Ekpa declared Monday a total lockdown, Tuesday as no movement day, Wednesday for sit-at-home, Thursday for opening of markets, Friday as don't come outside day, Saturday as stay indoors day. Those who have dared to disobey the order have paid dearly, and in most cases, their life.
Reviewing this matter of sit at home, we realize that Simon Ekpa is a freedom fighter, and who is a freedom fighter? Is a person who takes part in a resistance movement against an oppressive political or social establishment. The question is, are the leaders of Nigeria oppressive in their political or social establishment? That is the first question one has to ask, especially as relates to southeastern states of Nigeria. Like stated earlier, sit at home has been used by other freedom fighters all over the world. But here in Africa, it has been employed by Nelson Mandela in his struggle to free South Africa from the white minority rule. He employed this 3-day sit at home against apartheid regime in 1961. That is between May 29th, 30th, and the 31st.
Kinetic energy force alone. There are some underlying factors, resulting in these crisis. What have we done in the circumstance to address the underlying factors? Do not forget that even before now, we've been talking about the question of effective integration, inclusion of sections of the country into the body politic in terms of, giving them the rightful sense of belonging, sense of association, sense of ownership. To what extent have we done this inclusion, as the case could be? I'm not sure we've been effective at this level. And of course, we also need to remember the need for continuous consultation. Consultation can happen at different levels. At some point, some of these culprits have been consulted before, and that's why they probably permitted the holding of elections.
Of 1961. So it is not the first time these tactics have been used against dictators and those whose political establishment is meant to punish the other group of the nation. Therefore, the television houses, the journalists, commentators have to realize that Mr. Simon Ekpa is a victim of circumstance, carrying the load the 5 Southeast governors would have exercised either politically or diplomatically to ensure that federal government of Nigeria complied with court orders given in 2022, as well as complying with the UN Human Rights Working Group on arbitrary detention. Nevertheless, those commenting on sit-at-home orders have now the understanding, the reasons why Simon Ekpa is giving this command from Finland and why people is obeying that command because of the love they have for Nnamdi Kanu. It is not absolutely that everyone must comply, but the compulsion is just to make the government to realize that somebody is somewhere there they have refused to release, they have abandoned, they have, played the politics of not wanting to know. That is the reason why this sit-at-home, my own thinking, was unleashed to the people to activate the federal government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the techniques human rights fighters sometimes apply, and it has been applied on the Igbo land because the governors, the Ohaneses, and those who are supposed to ask for his release are not being serious. They are not being serious. That is the main reason why the man they called or they described as causing trouble in the Igbo land is using that tactics. When it is not pleasing to the commentators, they have to also join hand in forcing the federal government to do the needful. People are rushing down to South Africa today, rushing down to Namibia, Mozambique, enjoying themselves, but somebody fought for the liberation of the country from those who believe they are the rightful owner. They were punished, many people were killed, but yet, at the end, the freedom has come. And that is the main reason why all Nigerians are rushing down to South Africa in the recent times. Zimbabwe, people fought for them. They are also rushing down to Dubai to buy houses. We have people who have been embezzling money since 1970 till date. Nothing has been happening to them. They have houses all over the world. They don't care about the poor masses, but those who say what you are doing is wrong, they join hand to say you must remain in prison. That is the problem. And whosoever that is fighting to ensure that everything works well for the masses, for those who are neglected within the society, is doing good job. People are running down to Europe. Europe was a disaster in the 7th to 19th century, but they made their countries to be okay. But ours, Nigerians, don't want the country to work well for anyone, especially those who were trained by the military, and the military themselves that ruled between 1970 to date. Everything is sinking down. People are happy about all these problems. Solving them is not overnight, but one has to start it. With this, we come to the end of this very program. We are going to exploit the 3 agitation that has made Nigeria a new country in the next video. Bye, and God bless you all. Do not